started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, don't tell them what to say. Tinfoil haters are here to save the day. To get started to see which one can be the most retarded. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show. Tinfoil haters, it's time to start the show.
Welcome back to another Tinfoil Haters. How are all you vital idols doing? We have got a fun one today. Look, I get it. Last week was a bit of a joke episode. The Titanic, we led y'all along and placed the breadcrumbs, see how many of y'all would fall for it, and then lo and behold, yeah, all that shit was fake. Not so much today. Today we're going to get into some actual weird, spicy, and dicey stuff that no doubt will make you hate your fucking government. But I can't do it alone. Obviously, I got my partner in crime with me. Send me 3P, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you got going on, the whole nine.
Oh, you think this is gonna be the thing that makes me hate the government, eh?
Well, for the uninitiated, maybe, not you.
I'm Sammy 3P. I'm a Detroit-based musician, but I also do some stuff on the interwebs. So just follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, or the other way around, or both. I don't care.
You'll love to see it. For all 12 of you out there still using Facebook, and obviously we've got
Did I say Facebook? Am I having a stroke?
Yes. You know what? It's the candy talking.
It is. Just like follow me on MySpace or send me a carrier pigeon. That'd be great.
Smoke signals work too.
We also have our bit-titted dragon goddess, Cindy. Tell the people who you are, what you do, the whole nine.
Hey guys, I'm Cindy. I like to talk about anime and gaming, and on the occasion, a little bit of horror. And today, hopefully, is one of those days, and I don't get the rug pulled out from under me again.
Well, today you are definitely going to see some horror. It's a horror of the man-made kind, but horror nonetheless. Yeah, we've got a pretty crazy show for you. Before that, we got some pre-stream legends. That Don Otaku with a 5-banger. Here's a 5-banger because I hate the government, but I like you guys and gals. Shout out, thank you, that Darn Otaku. And then Alex Darby coming in hot with 5 gifted Words of Paradise memberships. Shout out, that is 5 new vital idols. Who else you hit? Hannibal Grimm, Debuff Bluff, Wananome, I think that's how you pronounce that, Level Guy, and Razor Nader? Razor Nader? Sure, why not? You'll love to see it. Alex, thank you so much. Dad Darn Otaku, truly appreciate it. Let's play y'all a clip before we get into the show proper. And seeing as it is, the digital landscape only becoming conspiracies, I feel like this is the only acceptable one. And then Scotty G coming in hot with another 5 gifted memberships. You absolute legend. Hit Dizel Jizz, Trigger 505, Vault Tech Experiment, Nobody Has Spoken, and Zenitram. Again, you guys are absolute legends. Shout out. Truly appreciated. This is for you.
I know you've done absolutely nothing productive today, but who gives a shit? You're just a weird little gay boy doing the best you can, and I'm proud of you for making it this far in life as a gay little weirdo. Keep shining.
Keep shining, members of the government. You are all gay little weirdos. All right, who all we got up in this bitch? Dat Darn Otaku is here. Clip 420, shout out to you. We got St. Hugo to IRL, Albert Wesker, Philip Morgan, King Too Tall is here. Reese898 holding it down over on Kick alongside Lithium Lux Eterna. We do love our Kick viewers. Soul Assassin is here. Shout out to you. Dak's not our best mod in the whole damn land. Sammy, of course, we're talking to you guys in the comments as well as Cinevere. Who else we got? Mage Wolf. Shout out to you, Mage Wolf, throwing up them horns. Scotty G up in this bitch. JW, the Coding Bear. Thanks again, Alex Darby. Truly appreciated. It's what keeps the channel going in all reality. Because again, we want to at some point possibly do a real life tinfoil haters meetup. Diz L Jizz, if you hated the government before, just wait. There's more. Shout out to you. You are absolutely correct. Melphis Sky is here. Shout out to you, Melphis. Death on a Trikey. Poker Race. Multiple sixes. Evan is up in this bitch. El Mervoth is here with the umbrella logo, which pretty apt for what we're going to be talking about today. Matt motherfucking Stanford, shout out to you. Winter Jolt is here. Tyzanos is up in this bitch, and that is everybody so far. Shout out to all y'all watching across multiple platforms. We are going to get into it. First things first, before we even do intros, before we even talk about the subject, a quick little clip that's going to sort of set the stage, set the mood, if you will.
Last summer, the NSA director was at a conference, and he was asked a question about the NSA surveillance of Americans. He replied, and I quote here, "The story that we have millions or hundreds of millions of dossiers on people is completely false." The reason I'm asking the question is, having served on the committee now for a dozen years, I don't really know what a dossier is in this context. So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases.
Oh, that's a qualifier.
Inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
He's lying. Look at him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
stressed.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yes.
hate when I just accidentally gather
Last-
information on people. That
So I'm so glad, because Cindy, I was actually going to approach you about this first, seeing as you probably have no idea what the topic is in traditional fashion, but even you know that motherfucker was lying.
Yeah, the way he's rubbing his eyebrows, it's a sign. It's a way of soothing. It's a self-soothing gesture, and the fact that he added in a qualifier on top of that definitely points to signs of he's lying his ass off, and he's
Now-
not comfortable doing it.
Are you aware of who that is?
No, I have no clue.
Sammy, would you like to explain?
actually, I don't know who it is.
That is James Clapper, the head
okay,
director
yeah,
of
no, never
National
mind.
Intelligence under
Never mind, I know who that is.
Yeah,
I
under
just didn't know what he
Barack-
looks like.
under Barack Hussein Obama. He later had to apologize for said testimony. James Clapper apologizes to Congress for clearly erroneous testimony. Director of National Intelligence James Clapper apologized to Congress in a letter released today for giving a clearly erroneous answer to a question about whether the government collects data on millions of Americans. My response was clearly erroneous, for which I apologize. Clapper wrote in a letter to Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Dianne Feinstein, Democrat, California. The letter came after Clapper was accused of lying in response to a question by Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat of Oregon, about whether the National Security Agency collects any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans. In his March testimony, Clapper answered no, later adding, not wittingly. It was later revealed the NSA does collect metadata from telephone and internet companies on millions of Americans. Information that reveals information like the time, date, and phone numbers of telephone calls, not the content of those calls.
Yeah, but how can we
Supposedly.
be sure about that?
Yeah, exactly. Supposedly. In light of Senator Wyden's reference to dossiers and face the challenge of trying to give an unclassified answer about our intelligence collection activities, many of which are classified, I simply didn't think of the Section 215 of the Patriot Act, which allows the government to collect business records or metadata from telephone and internet companies, Clapper said. Instead, my answer addressed collection of content of communications. That's a very look, guys. I just forgot. I am the head of the National Intelligence Committee. I somehow forgot about Section 215 of the fucking Patriot Act.
I don't have my groceries delivered, but I do have this guy who drops off food once a week, you know.
The explanation came after Clapper offered conflicting explanations to why he answered the way he did. Wyden said that his office not only gave Clapper a list of questions ahead of time, but also asked for a clarification from Clapper's office after his testimony. In a statement today, a spokesman for Wyden said that the staff member in Senator's office asked Clapper to correct the public record after a March hearing, which he refused to do. Senator Wyden had a staff member contact the office of the Director of National Intelligence on secure phone line. A secure phone line, I'm very sure. Soon after March, hearing to address the inaccurate statement regarding bulk collection on Americans, said Wyden spokesman Tom Kaiser. The ODNI acknowledged the statement was inaccurate, but refused to correct the public record when given the opportunity. Senator Wyden's staff informed the ODNI this was a serious concern. Senator Wyden is deeply troubled by a number of misleading statements senior officials made about domestic surveillance over the past several years. So again, that's how we're starting this episode off. Needless to say, already we're
I do like how we wrote a letter to Dianne Feinstein like she gave a shit.
So, Cinny, with all of this, with us just starting off this way, do you have any major, just thoughts or guesses, maybe a hunch, if you will, about what today's episode is going to entail?
I have no idea, but it makes me so angry because it just makes me think of the COSA Act and how they just shoved that through the Senate and everything else. And it's just like,
It's because of stuff like this that we're about to get into today as to why COSA is even allowed to be a thing today. Like COSA and all that, all roads lead back to what we're actually about to talk about today.
oh, lovely.
Real quick, we had a couple soups come in. Let's hit those, and then we will continue with the story proper. Fluffy Murder Machine giving 5 Words of Paradise memberships. Shout out to you, you absolute fucking legend. Y'all are coming in hot with the super chats tonight. You'll love to see it. I truly appreciate it. He hit Taizanos, Winter Jolt, Dinah gets it. Dane gets it. Dane gets it. Sure. Douglas Maris and 1000. Shout out to you. You'll love to see it. Jake motherfucking Martin coming in with 21 months of membership. You absolute fucking legend. And in true radio host fashion, it was in fact not false. Shout out to you, Jake. Thank you so much. And then double dipping with 5 gifted Words of Paradise memberships. Brother, you motherfucking legend. You know what? I don't know that we have any more conspiratorial things, but we do have this.
I fuck one of the robot dogs.
And this.
How you doing, sir? Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
And last but not least, shout out to the True Aztec Warrior for the 10 jewels of a gold coin, pissing off all the snickles. Alrighty. Let's talk about room 641A. Now, Sammy, when you were doing your research into today's topic, were you without talking about the thing that we're actually going to be talking about today, did you go down the room 641A rabbit hole?
Actually, yeah, that was the first video that I watched happened to pertain to that, and then I remember.
Oh, your mic's starting to break up. Oh fuck! The NSA's onto us, boys.
Shit.
Okay, sounds better now.
Yeah, it was one of the first things that I watched, and then you gave me some other things to look into too, and then I remembered seeing a picture of the building.
Hold on, room 641A is actually something completely different than the building.
Yeah, but I mean, it led to.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Oh yeah, hold up on the building stuff because I've got some visual cues for that. But good, I just want to make sure you were familiar with room 641A, constructed roughly 2002, 2003, inside an existing building. An existing AT&T building. So let's talk about that room. So this was an interesting bit of that. By the way, this was a bitch to get. I had to use some paywall skips because this Wired article will not allow you to view it for free. I don't know if that's a new thing with Wired. I've used Wired as a source multiple times. I'm not used to having to attempt to pay for Wired. But given the context and content within this article, AT&T provided the National Security Agency, the NSA, eavesdroppers with full access to its customers' phone calls and shunted its customers' internet traffic to data mining equipment installed in a secret room in its San Francisco switching center, according to former AT&T worker cooperating in the Electronic Frontier Foundation's lawsuit against the company. Mark Klein, a retired AT&T communications technician, submitted an affidavit in support of the EFF's lawsuit this week. The class action lawsuit filed in federal court in San Francisco last January alleges that AT&T violated federal and state laws by surreptitiously allowing the government to monitor phone and internet communications of AT&T customers without warrants. On Wednesday, the EFS asked the court to issue an injunction prohibiting AT&T from continuing the alleged wiretapping and filed a number of documents under seal, including 3 AT&T documents that purportedly explain how the wiretapping system works. According to the statement released by Klein's attorney, an NSA agent showed up at San Francisco's switching center in 2002 to interview a management-level technician for a special job. In January 2003, Klein observed a new room being built adjacent to the room housing AT&T's number 4 ESS switching equipment, which is responsible for routing long-distance and international calls. I learned the person whom the NSA interviewed for the secret job was a person working to install equipment in this room, Klein wrote. The regular technician workforce was not allowed in the room. So you've got this entire AT&T building, an entire new room is being constructed by the NSA, and the AT&T employees themselves are not allowed in this room.
Oh, shit.
Sounds fishy.
Yeah, it sounds maybe about like maybe some domestic spying, right? Am I crazy for thinking as such?
No, I don't think so.
Also, note how they talk about wiretapping. Well, I thought in the previous article we read, they said that, well, it just allows you to collect the metadata, you know, when the phone calls came in, when they ended, who the phone numbers were to, but not the content of the calls. Well, this certainly makes it sound like when you wiretap, you hear the content of the calls.
Yes, indeed.
Klein's job eventually included connecting internet circuits to splitting cabinet that led to the secret room. During the course of that work, he learned from a coworker that similar cabinets were being installed in other cities, including Seattle, San Jose, Los Angeles, and San Diego. While doing my job, I learned the fiber optic cables from the secret room were tapping into the WorldNet, AT&T's internet service, circuits by splitting off a portion of light signal, Klein wrote. The split circuits including traffic from peering links connecting to other internet backbone providers, meaning AT&T was also diverting traffic routed from its network to or from other domestic and international providers, according to Klein's statement. Now, there's a couple implications here. Sammy, I'll ask you because, Cindy, I don't know. First of all, not to be condescending, but did you understand what that meant? I will take that as a no.
Yeah.
Sammy, what does that lead you to believe?
That it's well, one, that all that stuff's connected, which for a long time, especially with like like long distance and diverting, that's been long proven to be true. But that you're getting a sort of hub of where all that's going, because if it's all if you're getting all the domestic and international providers, but they're switching up who's using who, well, that means that that's all being integrated into one place.
Well, and you brought this in, that's the point that I want to hone in on, the domestic and international providers. So obviously there are more internet providers than just AT&T, both in the US and across the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're all being rerouted to AT&T at these various different points, that would mean they're all in on it. This isn't AT&T sneakily being like, oh, we're fucking over T-Mobile or Verizon or anything like that. No, they're all in on it. Every single one of these internet providers, every single one of these telecommunications companies, again, whether it be just domestically or internationally, are saying, we will allow you to take the data that we have collected and harvest it through basically your data mining procedures in this AT&T building. You've not had a safe internet provider, really probably ever, but definitely in a post-Google world.
Winter Jolt says, you think that's bad? I'm scanning cellular data for $35 SDR and a special program for my job.
I have no doubt that is probably true. They're just pulling, $35 getting people's fucking data and whatnot. Yeah, the data has a price. The secret room included data mining equipment called the Naris STA 6400, known to be used particularly by government intelligence agencies because of its ability to sift through large amounts of data looking for pre-programmed targets, according to Klein's statement. Norris, whose website touts AT&T as a client, sells software to help internet service providers and telecoms monitor and manage their networks, look for intrusions, and wiretap phone calls as mandated by federal law. Klein said he came forward because he does not believe the Bush administration is being truthful about the extent of this extrajudicial monitoring in the Americans' communications. Despite what we were hearing and considering the public track record of this administration, I simply do not believe the claims the NSA spying program is really limited to foreign communications or otherwise consistent with the NSA's charter or with FISA. Klein wrote, unlike controversy-targeted wiretaps of individuals' phone calls, this potential spying appears to be applied wholesale to all sorts of internet communications and countless citizens. After asking for a preview copy of the documents last week, the government did not object to the EFF filing the paper under seal, although the EFF asked the court Wednesday to make the documents public. One of the documents, titled Study Group 3 LGX Splitter Wiring in San Francisco, is dated 2002. Others are allegedly a design document instructing technicians how to wire up the taps, and document that describes the equipment installed in said secret room. In a letter to the EFF and AT&T, objected to filing the documents in any manner, saying that they contained sensitive trade secrets that could be used to hack into the AT&T network, compromising its integrity. According to the court rules, AT&T has until Thursday to file a motion to keep the documents sealed. The government could also step into the case, request the documents not be made public, or even that the entire lawsuit be barred under the seldom used state secrets privilege. AT&T spokesman Walt Sharp declined to comment on the allegations, citing company policy of not commenting on litigation or matters of national security, but did say that AT&T follows all laws following requests and assistance from government authorities. Now, this was in 2002. Right, this is 2002, 2003. That James Clapper, Senate hearing that I played for you guys at the beginning of this. I want you to take a wild guess as to what year that was, Senny.
Was it not 2002 or 2003? No, that was later.
Go on.
1999.
Nope, you're going the wrong direction. That was in 2013.
Oh shit!
I didn't get to fucking guess.
Sorry, Sammy. I thought you knew because you did research on the subject.
No, I know. Well, I want to look smart sometimes.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then take it from here. Let me pose it to you. If there was already lawsuits about AT&T and the government spying on the American people in 2002 and 2003, why the fuck are we just now hearing about it? Not in 2013, and they're still lying about it. What's the mentality there, Sammy?
Because they're gonna, like, it's already been brought up that they already know, and now they're just trying to do it. It's gotten worse. So the things that they are admitting to back in 2002 are no longer as bad as what they're currently doing.
And who do we have to thank for that?
Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, I mean, who do we have to thank for getting the information out to us, the American people?
Oh, Snowden.
Our boy Edward Snowden, hero of the fucking people. The whole reason these requests in 2013 were even being made were because of the Snowden leaks. And the NSA couldn't hide it anymore, despite what James Clapper outwardly tried to do. There was a great interview with the AT&T employee who was part of the lawsuit, Mark Klein, right here. It is a very long interview. We are not going to read it. I did read it all, in preparation for this, and realized that this interview alone would take up the entirety of the show on account of it is this long. Still going. But yes, this interview is still public. It is from PBS back in, I believe, 2002. So I'm going to share this with you guys. There you go. In case you want to read it for yourself, it is now in the chat. But no. All this leads to what the big topic of conversation is today. Right here. 33 Thomas Street. What a very interesting, innocuous, part of New York City.
Next to Chinatown, where they can get takeout.
Well, what do you notice about this building, Cindy?
Is that a lack of windows?
Bingo, bango, bongo. She nailed it, chat. Yeah. It is, in fact, a lack of windows. Here's it.
Isn't that the building from the MIB?
That is a very astute comparison.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, those are air vents. Those are not windows.
Just random building in the middle of the financial district of New York City. You got this random skyscraper with 0 windows, brutalist architecture. Yes, it's a very interesting building. Sammy, in your research, did you happen to see how like what the construction of this building entailed, like how they were constructing it, what it was supposed to do?
Well, I mean the AT&T long lines building is what it's officially called, but yeah, it was it was for long distance telephone calls. It was like a hub, and it was supposed to, but it's also like it's like a real life supervillain like base. Like there's sub levels. There's like water cooling stations. This thing could basically, and that's a lot of because of like the brutalist architecture. It's supposed to be like incredibly like efficient and not use as much material for aesthetic, but like,
Man, your mic is fucking you. Try unplugging it and plugging it back in, homie.
what is going on here with you?
Yeah, you're getting major clipping.
Maybe let's try pushing it back a little bit too, huh?
All right, there you go. Anyway, continue what you were saying.
Well, it's basically a self-sustaining base. Like,
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
yeah. Hold on. Let me try it at the.
Well, while you're doing that, the original architecture concept was essentially a fortified telecommunications citadel. Contemporary architecture material described the building as a skyscraper to be inhabited by machines. Explained that it was designed to protect telecommunications equipment and operating personnel in the event of an atomic attack. The plans reportedly provided emergency capacity for approximately 1,500 people, with enough supplies and infrastructure to remain self-contained for roughly 2 weeks, including approximately 250,000 gallons of generator fuel. It also has 3 subterranean levels, 3 sub-basements, including a cable vault through which telecommunication lines could enter the facility. So when Sammy says it is like a real-life supervillain lair, he is entirely correct. This building was actually designed with the specifications to survive to survive atomic blasts.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Sammy, let's hear it.
I still hear it.
I'm nervous now. Still clipping?
No,
No, not
right now
now.
you sound good.
One of the wires just must have gotten knocked loose. I just plugged it back in.
Yeah, Matt Stanford has survived a nuclear attack. The systems are gone, but our spy network is still going. Well, and that's the thing. If they've got enough resources in there to keep this building self-sustaining for about 2 weeks with up to 1,500 people,
Yes.
I would like to pose a question to Cindy, and then this time I will ask Sammy, and that way you can sound smart as well. How many people do you think work in this building?
I don't know, like 1,000?
Sammy?
Oh, this one I don't even know about, but if I have to take a wild guess,
It's even worse now.
okay. It might just be my internet, dude. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's definitely your mic because it's working now, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if you got some sort of loose connection or whatnot. But anyway, yeah, if you were to take a guess, how many?
I don't know, 1,500 people.
Nope, you guys both really overshot it. Everyone in the chat, 12, 15, on paper, about 7, 5. Yeah, we don't know the exact number, but it's a handful.
Oh my gosh.
This whole building, it literally, supposedly the reason like there's no windows, not only just because of the need to survive an atomic bomb and whatnot, it's literally a skyscraper for machines. It's got so few.
Oh, that's right. It's mostly automated.
Yeah, it's mostly automated. There's no offices or very few offices or whatnot. Yeah, people will come in, they'll do maintenance on the machines, but it's got almost nobody working there. Again, just handfuls of basically skeleton crew of NSA and AT&T employees, because this is an AT&T building. It is owned and operated by AT&T, and it was the long distance switching center practically for the entire country, built in the 60s. So shout out, let's see. Oh, hey, Artemis Contrarian following over on Kick. Truly appreciate you, homie. El Merva with the 2-banger. My brain screams SCP. Honestly, it is, kind of just as bad. And now we get to TITANPOINTE, the NSA's spy hub in New York, hidden in plain sight. This is from November 16th, 2016. They called it Project X. It was an unusually audacious, highly sensitive assignment. Build a massive skyscraper with the capable of withstanding an atomic blast in the middle of New York City. It would have no windows, 29 floors with 3 basement levels, and enough food to last 1,500 people 2 weeks in the event of catastrophe. Building's primary purpose would not be to protect humans from toxic radiation of a nuclear war. Rather, the fortified skyscraper would safeguard powerful computers, cables, and switchboards. It would house one of the most important telecommunications hubs in the United States, the world's largest center for processing long-distance phone calls, operated by the New York Telephone Company, a subsidiary of AT&T. Documents obtained by The Intercept from NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden do not explicitly name 33 Thomas Street as a surveillance facility. However, taken together with the architectural plans, public records, and interviews with former AT&T employees conducted for this article, they provide compelling evidence that 33 Thomas Street has served as an NSA surveillance site. Codename TITANPOINTE.
Man. I don't know.
I'm not gonna
that
lie,
makes me
TITANPOINTE's a pretty sweet name.
I know, it's too good. It makes me uncomfy.
I mean, we're look, I've never been to New York City. I don't know if any of you guys have. I've never been to New York City. But you can find interviews and whatnot of people that have slowly learned about this over the last, decade or so. And they say they pass by this building every day, never even noticed it didn't have windows. It's just an innocuous building that you pay no attention to, hidden in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How do you not notice it doesn't have buildings? That would be the first thing that stands out.
How do you
to
not
me.
notice that it doesn't have buildings?
I mean, windows. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, because you're walking by like these massive skyscrapers the whole time. A lot of them don't have windows on the base floor.
Yeah, you almost said the buildings.
So it just looks like a big mess of concrete, just like the base of all these other buildings, unless you actually stand and look up at it. You could just walk right by it. But if you got no business being there, and not a lot of people just, will, if you live in New York your whole life, you're not going to walk by every single building and go like, my God, look at the architecture. Like, it's not.
So we have this here, a trail of evidence leading to AT&T's partnership with the NSA. Documents provided by Edward Snowden mention a special relationship between the National Security Agency and an unnamed telecommunications company. Here's how we figured out it's AT&T. And this is the truly important part of today's episode, is just to remind you guys. And I'm sure we think about it all the time. We talk about this conspiracy stuff. We're inundated with tech talk. These telecommunications companies are in the pocket and licking the boot of Big Daddy government. They do not care about you. They do not care about your safety. They do not care about your security. They do not care about your data. They do not care about your metadata. They are willing to bend over and do anything and everything they can for Uncle Sam. So the article reads as such. Today, we reported the National Security Agency's ability to capture internet traffic on the United States soil has relied on its extraordinary decades-long partnership with a single company, the telecom giant AT&T. While it has long been known that American telecommunications companies work closely with the spy agency, the documents we published show that the relationship with AT&T has been considered unique and especially productive. One document described it as highly collaborative, and another lauded the company's extreme willingness to help. You want to know the problem with this?
Yes.
So, hypothetically, let's say that, you are, maybe you're not even doing anything illicit. Whether you are, you aren't, is irrelevant. Let's say you were suspected of illicit activities and, you've got, phone records, things that may, be evidence to such, or could, exonerate you as such, one of the two. What are the police supposed to get, hypothetically, to obtain that information?
A warrant.
Bingo, bango, bongo. You want to know what AT&T just usually hands over willy-nilly?
The information without warrants.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Yeah, AT&T has a staunch record of just saying, "Oh, you're the police, and or you're the NSA, or you're some sort of law enforcement organization. You want this information?" They don't say, "Come back with a warrant," like oddly enough, Apple does. I don't have a whole lot of positive things to say about Apple. But you know what Apple has traditionally done?
Say get a warrant.
They get a warrant. AT&T,
they protect that.
Yep. AT&T, not so much. They just be like, "Oh, you want this? Here, have it."
That's insane.
Man, then what happened to that? There was like a case long ago where somebody committed a murder and they were wanting the info off somebody's phone, but they couldn't get it, and it took them like a month.
Yep.
That was Apple. It was because it was an Apple phone, and Apple said, "We will give you the information when you get us a warrant."
That's what they said.
Yep. Let's see. Where were we? That's right. By following the breadcrumbs we found throughout the trove of documents released by Snowden, we were able to prove that a program called Fairview was the cover term for the agency's partnership with AT&T. We also found evidence that Verizon participates in the agency's smaller Stormbrew program. I'll be real. Stormbrew is a pretty fucking sick name too. TITANPOINTE, Stormbrew. These government dudes, they may be evil, but their naming game is on point. The Apple it was isn't the Apple it is today. That might be true, Divine Duckworth. I'm not actually on the up about like modern Apple, whether or not they still operate like that, but they certainly used to, as opposed to AT&T, excuse me, who never really has. We started with the basics. A slide deck called Fairview Overview, described with the partnership between the NSA's Special Source Operations Unit and the corporate partner, Fairview Divine. So, large SSO program involves NSA and corporate partner, Transit, FAA, FISA. And then we've got the cooperative effort associated with Midpoint Collection, which is the cable, the switch, the routers. And last but not least, the partner operates in the U.S., but has access to information that transits the nation throughout its corporate relationships, provide unique access to other telecoms and internet service providers. We infer from this the Fairview partner was a single big U.S. telecom. There are only a handful of American operators at this scale. AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, to show you guys how long it was, Sprint was still a thing, and internet backbone providers such as CenturyLink, Cogent Communications, and Level 3 Communications. Our best clue came about the internal NSA newsletter, which contained an update about how data collection was restored after the Japanese earthquake of 2011. August 5th, 2011, collection of DNR and DNI traffic at the Fairview Cliffside Trans-Pacific Cable Site resumed. After being down for approximately 5 months, collection operations at Cliffside had been down since 11th of March 2011 due to the cable damage as a result of the earthquake off the coast of Japan. Several submarine cables near Japan were damaged after the earthquake. However, only one of them was restored August 5th, 2011, according to Satoru Taira, Vice President in the Crisis Management Planning Office at NTT Communications, the Japanese telecom that operates the Japan landing station for the cable. The restore the cable is the northern leg of the Japan-U.S. cable that is operated by AT&T in the United States, according to Federal Communications Commission's filings. So, do you get what that means, Cindy?
No, I don't have a clue.
Sammy, you want to clue her in?
Sorry, I'm still trying to fix my shit.
No, you're good. Japanese earthquake happens. Takes out all these telecommunications cables.
Gotcha.
The only one they bother to fix any sort of expeditiously is the AT&T line that connects Japan and America.
Oh, shit.
That's the only one. The rest suffer and squalor for God knows how long. But real quick on fixing that AT&T cable.
Huh. That's odd, considering I feel like they have the worst connection on the planet.
Who?
Like
Japan?
AT&T.
Oh,
Like,
well,
you try to go to the countryside with AT&T, you're not getting shit. You go
for
with
us
Verizon.
plebeians maybe, but do you think the government follows those same rules?
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. Although there are many partners in the consortium that share ownership of the Japan-U.S. cable, AT&T is the primary network operator of the cable and owns the Manchester, California cable landing point for the U.S.-Japan cable, according to FCC filings. Our next clue was some jargon we found in an NSA glossary. Even the NSA has a hard time keeping track of all its code words, so it has a dictionary of terms. Inside that dictionary, we found an entry that described a Fairview program using terminology we hadn't heard before, SNRC. DNI access from Fairview's partners, DNI backbone, which includes OC192 and 10GE peering circuits. The partners provide a current view of the forecast and equip 10GE and OC192 peering circuits of the 8 SNRCs as of March 2009. A little sleuthing revealed in the 1996 article with publication Network World, in which AT&T described its internet hubs as service node routing complexes, or SNRCs. Former AT&T employees Jennifer Rexford, who is now a professor at Princeton University, and Joel Gottlieb, who now runs his own consulting service, confirmed for us that SNRC was AT&T specific jargon. So this is how these investigative journalists are narrowing it down to what company is the one that has the most direct contact with the NSA. Is, oh, we noticed this term SNRC. What company uses that term? And it's only AT&T.
Jeez.
We also found that AT&T had included the term SNRC in a glossary of technical terms submitted with a government contract. Elsewhere in a diagram of Fairview data flows, the term Common Backbone, or CBB, is used to describe the Fairview Partners Internet Backbone. The term CBB is also specific to AT&T, according to Rexford and Steve Belvin, another former AT&T employee, now a professor at Columbia University. Is it strange? Maybe it's completely innocuous. I don't actually know enough about the telecommunications to university pipeline. But isn't it odd that so many of these high-level AT&T dudes are now fucking professors at Ivy League schools?
It's shocking. It's almost like they're all in bed with each other.
Right, yeah. So you mean the guys that have a direct tie-in with the NSA and are willing to give them anything and everything they want, and then after their time at AT&T is done and over with, they move on to these cushy university jobs where the universities are intrinsically tied to the state and basically do the bidding of the state. I mean, how many children and whatnot come out brainwashed to be just dogs of the state by these by these institutions,
where they can professionally teach communism to slowly demoralize an entire population? It's like it's all related, Leon.
Bingo, bango, bongo. I feel like I've said that a lot tonight. A network map of Fairview shows 8 peering link router complexes. A 2009 AT&T network map shows 8 backbone node with peering in roughly the same locations. And in April of 2012, an internal NSA newsletter boasted about a successful operation in which the NSA spied on the United Nations headquarters in New York City with the help of its Fairview and Blarney programs. Blarney is a program that undertakes surveillance that is authorized by Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. I mean, there's spying on everyone. And look, I don't give a fuck if you're spying on other people, other countries. Spy on, now, you'll never catch them spying on Israel, oddly enough. But the point is, I don't give a fuck if you're spying on other people. You ain't got no goddamn right to be spying on your own American populace. And we're just letting it happen. Every time we sign a terms and service agreement, we're just letting it fucking happen. It goes on to say, we found a historical record showing that AT&T was paid $1 million a year to operate the UN's fiber optic provider in 2011-2012. A spokesman for the UN Secretary General confirmed the organization has a current contract with AT&T to operate the fiber optic network at the UN headquarters in New York. Internal NSA maps of Fairview's backbone network show the partner company's 9 cable landing stations on the east and west coast of the United States. These positions correspond to a cable landing stations owned by AT&T, documented by the company in regulatory filings to the FCC, and the internal NSA slide below shows the locations of Fairview's cable stations and other program locations. The map shows AT&T stations where submarine cables into the United States. All along, of course, the East Coast and the West Coast. You got several in Florida. You got several in the Northeast, and then all along Washington and California. So obviously, these areas make sense if they're submarine cables. Yeah, go. That just makes sense from a practical perspective. But even so, in 2009, working draft in the NSA Inspector General report about President Bush's Stellar Wind warrantless wiretapping program. Ooh. Warrantless wiretapping program, which was previously released by The Guardian, referred to the helpful cooperation of 2 companies, Company A and B, which provided 2 of the most productive SIGINT collaborations the NSA has with the private sector. One of these 2 companies, either A or B, obviously being AT&T, and they're just openly admitting, yeah, we're giving away all this information without warrants. Oregon, thank you. Not Washington, Oregon. Thank you, Fluffy Murder Machine.
Yeah.
Summer Days, the 2 banger says, we spy on everyone. And I mean everyone. Which is why I'm certainly on a list because of all the fucking Fuda games that Summer Days has sent me. The word warrantless sends me to Pucker Factor 9. Yeah, that is the whole point of today's show is to show you guys just how the law does not apply to the government. Obviously, the law does not apply to business. Obviously, while a lot of this is not necessarily new, it's good to have a refresher course and a reminder. And the building itself is quite a strange building. That being said,
Coding says just wait till the flock cams go fully live, and it's like I think you could do a whole series just on the flock cameras.
we absolutely probably can. Evan with a 2-banger. In fairness, everyone spies on everyone. Yeah, and if we're talking about other governments spying on other governments, that's fine. Governments should not be spying on their own people, especially not. And really, even I don't give a fuck about other countries. If you want to do that, do it. But in a country that is founded upon personal liberty, ownership, property rights, privacy, right to life, pursuit of happiness, and liberty, we shouldn't be doing it. And I know that we are. I know I don't know how to stop it, but it's again, it's just important reminders of how absolutely evil your government actually is.
Well, and it's also a multiple front. So you have, you have these government agencies spying on you, right? But you also have like these private corporations gathering data and spying it on you. And then, it was like the second anybody has a question, they're like, well, no need for a warrant. Just here you go.
Just bag it and tag it.
It's absurd.
Summer Days with the 2-banger says, me buying Leon Fuda, I plead the fifth. Of fucking course you do. So we're going to read this part of this article as well, an excerpt. The codename TITANPOINTE features dozens of times in NSA documents, often in classified reports about surveillance operations. The agency uses codenames to conceal information it deems especially sensitive. For instance, the names of companies it cooperates with or specific locations where the electronic spying is carried out. Such details are usually considered exceptionally controlled information, a category beyond top secret and thus outside the scope of most Snowden was able to. Secret NSA travel guides. Ooh. Secret
Okay, is that me or is that him?
That's it.
What? I didn't hear anything.
You were roboting for a second.
Oh, I was roboting? Oh, okay. That time was me. Again,
they're
boys.
Fucking with us. They're fucking with us.
Yeah, the NSA. Yeah, if this shit gets taken down, I swear to Christ, bro. This would be the second time a TFA has been taken down. We're covering highly sensitive government level bullshit. So that's worrisome. Anyway, secret NSA travel guides dated April 2011 to February 2013, however, reveal information about TITANPOINTE that helps establish its connection to 33 Thomas Street. The 2011 guide, written to assist NSA employees visiting various facilities, disclosed that TITANPOINTE is in New York City. A 2013 guide states that a partner called Lithium, which is NSA's codename for AT&T, supervises visits to the site. The 33 Thomas Street building is located almost next door to the FBI's New York field office. Oh, right. That's another thing I forgot to bring up.
Oh, yeah.
Right. This brutalist building here is right down the road from the official FBI headquarters in New York. So just do with that comforting information what you will.
Yeah, like a chip shot away.
Yep, about a block away at Federal Plaza. The 2011 NSA travel guide instructs employees traveling to TITANPOINTE to head to the FBI's New York field office. It adds the trips to the site should be coordinated with AT&T, references Lithium, and the FBI, including any FBI site watch officer. So basically, FBI, NSA, they don't even go in this building unless they're colluding with AT&T employees that go there with them. Just to show you how in bed AT&T and the NSA are with each other. When traveling to TITANPOINTE, NSA employees are told to hire a cover vehicle through the FBI, especially if they are transporting equipment to the site in order to keep their true identity secret while visiting. Agency employees are instructed not to wear any clothing displaying NSA badges or insignia. So they are like this building, this giant windowless brutalist building housing all of the telecommunication companies the NSA uses to collect and spy, to collect data and spy on the American people. Again, that houses only a handful of employees. They still have to go in effectively undercover to do any work in this building. That is how tight-lipped they want to keep this. And that, to me, that begs the question: if this really is just a fucking giant long distance and switching and server rooms and like basically just a giant building of tech equipment, why all the secrecy? Like, why would you have to send your NSA agents in effectively undercover for our own tech? I don't have an answer to that one, by the way. That is just a legitimate fucking question.
Dude, did you see that video of where the girl is just trying to interview people walking in and out of there? Or
no, if you have it, send it and we'll watch it.
I only saw clips of it, but so apparently when she got close enough, they said that she can't video from the street, like the inside to, obviously they don't want who's going out. And this one guy, she saw him walk out of the building, because they said, "Hey, can I come in here?" And they said no. And he walks out and she's like, "So do you work there?" And he's like, "I don't know. It's the first time I've ever been in there."
You don't know if you work there?
It was the weirdest response. It was almost just like you couldn't think of the lie quick enough. I'll try and find.
Yeah, if you can find that, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, but that means like if they've been shot on camera, right, that they probably lost their job or moved to a different department since they've been spotted.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, honestly, probably. Plus back says, Leon, hold on, wrong one. Leon, I work with a handful of people that work for years for the NSA. I can ask them for verification. Whatever information you can get, I would love to know.
For sure.
Because to me, it is very strange that they have NSA people go undercover into their own building. Well, it's not really an NSA building. It's an AT&T building. But again, at this point, in the AT&T is just the dog of the American government. So it may as well be an American government building.
Crevasse says the secrecy is due to other countries spying on us.
And yeah, but at this point, we all know what this building is. It's been, I mean, it was leaked by Snowden in fucking what, 2011, maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah, 2011, 2012.
And like, not only do we know what this building is for and know what this building does, this building has been there since the 60s. Well, okay, it was being built in the 60s. It actually didn't get finished till like 73 or something like that. But this building has been operational since 73. Like the stuff that we'd be being spied on over now is way, I would imagine, way more important. Drone tech or our military technology, things like that, rather than an AT&T switching building. Again, unless there's something else in there to hide. Is that the building that send all the cell phone data? Cell phone, internet, landline, it all comes through this building. Upon arrival at Titan Point, the 2011 travel guide says agency employees should ring the buzzer, sign in, wait for a person to come and meet them. The Intercept visited 33 Thomas Street and found a buzzer outside its entrance and a sign-in sheet on a desk in the building's lobby, which is manned by a guard 24 hours a day. There's also parking bays in front of the skyscraper designated AWM, a traffic code for federal agencies. A 1994 New York Times article reported that 33 Thomas Street was part of AT&T's giant worldwide intelligence network, which is responsible for directing an average of 175 million phone calls a day. Thomas Saunders, a former AT&T engineer, told The Intercept inside the building there were at least 3 40SS switches used to route calls, which we learned that in the previous article. The NSA's documents also reveal that one of Titan Point's functions is to conduct surveillance as part of a program called Skid Row, which focuses on intercepting satellite communications. That is a particularly striking detail because on the roof of 33 Thomas Street, there are a number of satellite dishes. Federal communications records confirm 33 Thomas Street is the only location in New York City where AT&T has an FCC license for satellite Earth stations. So, I mean, this building is literally just spy the building.
Wow.
Like, we're talking about just insane shit. Ryan Gallagher and Henry Muldick's November 16, 2016 investigation, Titan Point, the NSA's spy hub in New York, hidden in plain sight, is the source that connected the Snowden documents to 33 Thomas Street. The article itself isn't the article itself isn't open and clean, and it's because, so Snowden never called this building Titan Point. Snowden mentions the project of Titan Point, and he mentions this address, but he stops short of actually calling this building Titan Point, which is why in the article we read, the Intercept didn't outright say it. They say we have come to the conclusion that that's what this is, but they can't outright state it as fact. But what else could it be? Like in all reality, what else could it be?
I know.
Yeah, it's like
Well, was that like?
it's
Was
a
that
JC Penney's.
I think. Oh gosh, hold on. Fourth wall guy said that Snowden wasn't really a hacker. He just had high levels of clearance.
Well, yeah, no one.
So
called,
maybe
no,
no,
one
no,
called
no,
Snowden a
no, no.
hacker.
I'm saying so maybe that's why he didn't call it Titan Point.
Well, yeah, I'm just confused as to where that even came. No one called Snowden a hacker.
Oh no. Well, that's actually the only thing I know him for was that he was called a hacker at one point.
No, he was a leaker. He leaked a bunch of Not he didn't hack into anything.
That's the guy who ran to Russia, right?
Yeah. So basically, Snowden was hired by the NSA, because he's a supremely intelligent individual. When he realized that all the spying and the data collecting and whatnot was all on like American citizens, and it was basically a complete and utter betrayal of the government, people's trust in the government. He leaked. So the reason that Snowden is not considered a whistleblower is because he said Snowden's a whistleblower. There's arguments as to whether he really is or isn't, because to be a whistleblower, you have to follow certain official channels, like certain official parameters that apparently Snowden didn't do. He just straight up took all this information, because he had such high access, he pulled all the information and just straight up leaked it to the journalists without doing the proper whistleblowing, protections. But again, if you're gonna whistleblow on your own government, who are you gonna fucking go to? Because the government's in on it. Like, in my opinion, Snowden really didn't have any other choice but to just leak everything to a journalist, because you can't just blow the whistle to your own government, who is controlling this entire operation.
Yeah, if you've seen any espionage movie, we all know how that goes.
Right. Imagine if in Captain America Civil War, it was like, yo, so SHIELD, we have an issue with Hydra, after he's already found out that Hydra has had control of SHIELD for so long. Like, would that fucking work? No.
Oh shit, let me tell Hydra. We'll get right on that for you.
So it goes on to say that the man behind the design of 33 Thomas Street, John Carl Warnick, was one of the most prominent architects of the U.S. between the 1960s and 80s. Warnick's high-profile projects included producing designs for the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland, the Hart Senate Office Building in Washington, D.C., and the Hawaii State Capitol in 1962. President John F. Kennedy's administration commissioned Warnick to preserve and restructure buildings at Lafayette Square across from the White House. And following Kennedy's assassination, Warnick was asked to design the president's eternal flame and gravesite at Arlington National Cemetery. He also helped so that's how high profile the dude that made this building was. He's the one that designed the fucking grave for Kennedy.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, no, he was a very well respected architect. And I mean, and this was like I guess the brutalist art style that was like, it was like one of like those emerging styles. I mean we could all see why it didn't pick up. I mean, it's
because it is fucking depressing.
Look, it looks like it's right out of Gotham City, but yeah.
Dude, brutalist architecture is, it is by design made to demoralize you.
Yes.
Imagine if you have an entire city of buildings like this, just thick concrete, no windows, no artistic flair, no gargoyles sitting on it, no murals, nothing. Just imagine a concrete jungle of just buildings like this.
Well, I mean,
go on.
Oh, you wouldn't have to worry about people throwing themselves out of windows, even though they might.
That's yeah. Instead, it would always have to be off the top of the roof.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, at the end of the day, like this is the building. This is Titan Point. Just to take you guys through the chronology of what we learned today. So this more or less starts in 2006. Now, obviously, it starts way before then because the government has not been on our side for many, many years. But in terms of the actual like data collection and it being exposed to the public in an official capacity, we have room 641A in 2006. That's in California. That's when Mark Klein physically exposed the surveillance infrastructure inside AT&T. In 2013, we get Snowden, doing all of his leaks. 2015, and then during that same time, that's when we've got, Jake Clapper lying blatantly to our face about collecting of American metadata. 2015, Snowden documents independently exposed an extraordinarily close NSA relationship with an unnamed telecommunications company, which we eventually identify as AT&T, as if that wasn't already identified in 2006. 2015 just confirms it. And then 2016, Snowden documents describe an NSA facility in New York. Gallagher and Moltke used multiple clues to identify it as 33 Thomas Street. And 2018, we've got 8 facilities. Investigators continue tracing NSA documents against the AT&T's physical. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Bless you
Network infrastructure. The last 2018 investigation is really that's where it ended for me. Like I not see any additional investigations, at least ones that have been made public or ones that have gained traction in publicity since 2018. Now, mind you, things got pretty weird in 2019 and 2020, so maybe those investigations, stopped for unforeseeable reasons. I don't know.
Or maybe that's when they did a lot more.
Well, I mean the independent investigations, but I have no doubt that the government, they probably did all. I bet I'd be willing to wager a guess that if you were going into this building in 2020, 2021, you probably didn't need to wear a mask.
Yeah, I'd say that it's pretty safe to say.
Let's hit these supers real quick, and then we'll continue with just the discussion. Let's see. Did we miss? We did. We missed this one from Evan. Probably just enough people to make sure no one breaks in and report machine failure and no more. Talking about the amount of employees in there. Yes, I would imagine you were absolutely correct.
Oh yeah, I worked at an automated pump station for a little while. And this was just like a wastewater treatment facility. And we could run multiple pulp stations from one hub. There'd be like 2 or 3 guys in there, and one of the guys would be mopping the place up. Like, right. It was like, if it's automated, it doesn't take much. But
Russian Meister with 10 bangers. Sup, beautiful people. Enemy of the State has been may have been intense still the great case of Rip Gene and soundtrack, but it's documentary things to come like Terminator, Sum of All Fears, and Idiocracy. Enemy of the State's a great Will Smith movie. I haven't watched that in ages.
Movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Go for it, Tammy.
I was gonna say it's one of those movies that I felt like was on television all the time when I was a kid.
Well, I was gonna say it's one of those movies from back when Will Smith was fucking cool.
Oh yeah, I mean that too. But this movie seemed to be on USA.
Like, they play it on TV all the time. It was like right there with like Independence Day. Basically, it is a spy espionage movie dealing with like NSA cover-ups and whatnot, starring Will Smith when they try and like blackmail him because they've got he's high up working for the government, and then they find out he made some mistakes in his marriage, and they basically say we're going to blackmail you into doing our evil NSA bidding unless you do what we say. Evan with 5 banger. What should scare you is the possibility that Snowden didn't have access of what Snowden didn't have access to reveal, and the possibility he was meant to reveal what he did. I don't think that's true. If he was meant to reveal what he did, he would not still be in Russia.
I mean, he's been in hiding for
like he is being literally protected by Putin at this point, and he has never renounced his American citizenship. He has never gone through the process of getting Russian citizenship. I don't know if there was higher levels of clearance that Snowden did or didn't have, but no, I don't see any convincing evidence that Snowden was like an inside job to try and basically like bait and switch the American populace. If there is evidence, I'd love to see it, but I don't see any. That said, shout out. Thank you for the 5 and the 10 bangers, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play you a clip real quick.
So here's the deal. Life doesn't always want to be your friend. Sometimes it'll feel like life wants to hurt you.
that was a downer.
But you can't just hide, because nobody likes a quitter.
Your ass don't hurt.
I'll go first.
You gotta take chances.
This fire isn't gonna stop me!
They never said it was gonna be fun or easy.
Subscribe to New Black Street. Subscribe to Atreus. And yeah, I'll catch y'all next Saturday.
Now, as far as the building, though, there are some conspiracies around the building itself that I do want to not necessarily debunk, but give some pretty logical explanations around. So, Sammy, what's one of the key factors that we talked about in regards to this building?
No windows. No, that it's
That's
it's
part
like,
of it, to be fair.
well, I mean, it's like an NSA hub. Allegedly.
Well, I mean, in terms of its construction, was one of the key factors about it.
Oh, the brutalist architecture,
which was designed to, be safe from an atomic bomb.
Yes.
You got to think of when this building was constructed. This building was constructed in the late 60s, completing in the early 70s. What was going on at the time?
Cold War.
Bingo, bango, bongo, Cold War. Like, it's actually not that conspiratorial to say, yeah, if you're going to have our entire country's telecommunications routing system in one building, and we're all like constantly under threat of nuclear bomb because of the Cold War, not a stretch to say, yeah, that's why they made the building like that. There's no grand conspiracy, Illuminati stuff in regards to the construction of the building being able to withstand a nuclear bomb. At least I don't think so.
No.
I will say it is strange that they've got the 2 weeks of worth of provisions for up to 1,500 people, because even if, let's say the nuclear bomb happened, let's say Cold War went south, nuclear bomb happened, and you've got, people in there basically keeping that shit running. Like Sammy said, it's mostly self-sustaining. So who would the 1,500 people be that are ushered into that building?
Well, I mean, that's a two-part front, right? So when we're talking about the Cold War era of it, and let's say that building was being originally used for what it is, that's to make sure that long distance communication can still happen throughout the country.
Right, and I agree with that, but I'm saying, considering it runs off a small crew, why 1,500 people?
But I'm saying it might not have run off of a small crew when it was originally built.
No, it was. Even back then, it was run off a small crew.
Okay. Oh, well, then yeah, then it's just a hub. You're probably getting people, like, I don't know what the exit plan is for a lot of like different, but you're probably looking at some higher end, and look how close it is to the federal building. Like, you're probably getting some higher end people being
and that was my thought, was because it's so close to the federal building, it's to house them and them alone. But Cindy, what are you gonna say?
I would not be shocked if there was a tunnel.
Yeah, no, because everybody was talking about a tunnel earlier that would connect the two buildings, and it kind of makes sense. I could see that happening.
Yeah, if they're only a block away, it's got 3 fucking sub basements. Again, Sammy, I don't know if you heard when you were trying to fix your mic, which has not had an issue since then, by the way. You declared there was basically a supervillain layer, and it is. Again, 3 sub basements. That's peak Doc Ock,
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know if there's a tunnel that leads from the FBI building into that one. I wouldn't be surprised. And were nuclear war to happen, that's probably what they would do. Shuttle everybody that's of some level of importance there, while us plebeians are left to die to the radioactive dust and live the life of a Fallout wastelander.
Basement 1 is just like all provisions. Basement 2 is for the minions, and basement 3 is for Gru and the girls. Like, that's
a very funny way to say that. But yeah, Cindy, what are your thoughts after hearing all this? I'm sure this was kind of mind melting for you.
I don't know. Horrifying is a really good word. I mean, like, you have all that information, and yet we still have problems with, shooters, even though they have, they can access your phone. Like, what are they not telling us? It kind of creeps me out thinking about it.
Well, and it's only expanded since then. I mean, we're talking data collection in 2006. Live streams weren't a thing. You don't pretend for a moment the NSA, the government at large, whatnot, don't have access to every episode of Tinfoil Haters we've ever fucking done.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And they're probably pointing and laughing at us dumb sons of bitches because we're 30 years behind.
Probably.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I saw something the other day that just with the wireless transfer of information, just how they can get it. It was like they can. I mean, remote hacking has been a thing for ever, but it was like it's basically like point and click now. Like where you can just access if you have like the right clearance, you can just basically get what you want. You can get what you want from these people, and it was like data's got to go somewhere. But I think someone's constantly like weeding through it, but no, but if I think you start, making waves and saying along things, they might not have an official dossier on you, but they can definitely start reviewing all the files that they do have on you. It was like,
and when they're done with that, they will have an official dossier on you.
Yeah, exactly. They're collecting this information on you until they need it, right? It's like a preemptive thing. So
and mind you, this technology, there's something I thought about when I was doing the research for this. And I don't even need to back it up. This is purely just my own conspiracy theory. But one of the things that was stated in the 2006 report, the from the room that was constructed in 2001, 2002, the room 641A, was that they were talking about how even then they had the technology to quickly sift through millions upon millions of user information, metadata, to just do it like within an instant. What does that sound like to you?
AI or
bingo, bango, bongo. It sounds to me like AI.
Yeah. Or I mean, very rudimentary.
I don't think rudimentary. I think that maybe rudimentary back then, but I'm saying what we have now in terms of like you could just throw an article in the chat GPT, say summarize this, and within seconds you have a full summary of that article, and it's pretty spot on. If they were doing that back then, I think that what we have access to now, the AI and whatnot that we have access, is literally just the sloppy seconds of what they were using 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, I think they have like 1 second, ran out of water. When we saw like Jarvis back in like 2008 in Iron Man, we're going like we're years off before having like AI like that. It was like I don't think we're far off. I think that stuff's available now where you can just.
It's funny you mentioned that. You want to know one of the individuals, or not individuals, one of the entities that funded that movie?
Oh yeah, who?
CIA.
The CIA?
Oh.
Yep, CIA was in fact one of the funders of Iron Man. In fact, they fund a lot of MCU and Disney movies in general, oddly enough.
It's almost like they just want you smart enough to pay your taxes, but dumb enough where you don't do your own research.
Dylan Red says AI has been around since the late 80s. Well, so first of all, you're correct, and it was actually even called AI then. But I don't think that generative AI was around in the 80s. There's actually been a form of AI around, I think, since even prior to the 80s, though I could be wrong. Generative AI is relatively new, relatively as in with the context of like we're in 2026 talking about the 80s, but I would not be surprised if government funded and applicable generative AI was a thing in the early 2000s. And again, this is just pure speculation. I got nothing to back it up, just from the way these articles and whatnot describe how quickly and easily it was able to sift through millions upon millions of users' metadata. To me, that sounds like AI.
Yeah, no, the intelligence would regurgitate, not as much like generate. Like if you would,
right,
you could program it to have certain responses and behave a certain way under certain stimuli, but it wasn't independent, so to speak. Which to an extent, it's still not now.
Leave this one up, Sammy. Keep going, Sammy.
No, I was just
read this one, Sammy, because I want to see what I'm sure you have something to say on this.
Oh, CIA funds movies for two reasons. First, to make themselves look good and the enemy of the day look bad, and the second, to make sure nothing too close to the truth gets put in the movie. I saw a video on this about gosh, I can't remember who made it.
The reason I was asking you to read that one is because that was an episode TFH you and I did together that Sammy missed.
Oh,
I was seeing if you remember that. Yeah, you and I did an entire episode, Temple of Haters, on this exact concept a few months ago.
Maybe that's why I feel like I saw an episode of something, but like, dude was killed and he lost both of his hands because he was like a
yes,
director.
that is from the episode of TFH that you and I did. Yeah, we covered that on that episode. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I was
a
on that
filmmaker
episode.
was a filmmaker that refused to have the FBI sponsor his movie, and it was an FBI or CIA takedown movie. Movie never came to fruition. He mysteriously died in a car crash with his hands cut off.
No, dude, I think I was there for that.
Were you there for that one?
Yeah, if not, if we at least discuss that guy on a different episode because
Gotcha. Maybe you were. I was remembering it just me and Cindy, but maybe you were there for that one. I knew there's been like one or two tinfoil haters that's just been me and Cindy.
That might have been when we covered like Project Mockingbird or all that stuff so tightly. It's incredible like how when you get into these big picture conspiracy theories like this, even though like this really isn't a conspiracy theory, this is just a giant building in New York.
Yeah, the real conspiracy about this giant building is like what goes on in there beyond the official stuff. And there is official things happening there. It is an official AT&T building. It does have official things it's doing, like again, the long distance switching, running all the telecommunications basically for the majority of the fucking US. Those are all real things that we do need this technology for. But there's also more.
But what I was getting at was like it's incredible how much crossover we get in order to like go down a certain rabbit hole. You need to understand that we had already talked about Mockingbird. We've talked about different than we've talked about.
Yeah, when all the different conspiracies start to link together, they obviously seem less and less like conspiracies and more like, oh, these are actual breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it's more like an onion more than it is a rabbit hole because like you need to sift through the layers to actually start getting down to the deeper stuff, and it's really upsetting and a little bit just like discouraging to know that it was like, oh, not only have they been doing it for decades and decades, but like we still don't even know the full extent.
And there's also no signs of them stopping anytime soon. Like if anything, it's only ramped up. It's only got worse. I mean, at the beginning of this episode, Cindy said this is a it makes her think of Kosa. And what I tell you, Cindy?
I don't remember
that this is the precursor to Kosa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, do you think we could even have Kosa if stuff like this wasn't already happening, laying the groundwork?
True. I just wanted to stop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
As much as I'm a white pill guy, I can't in good conscience say I have an answer or a belief in how this is going to stop, at least anytime soon.
No way.
The use of the term conspiracy itself is a psyop. It's just an unofficial narrative. So conspiracy, yeah, it's funny. I will say that usage of the term as a pejorative is a psyop. Yes, usage of the term conspiracy as a pejorative is in fact a psyop. There should not be anything inherently wrong with the term conspiracy theory because, well, a conspiracy is a real thing. A conspiracy is when individuals, a group of people, so two or more, multiple individuals, a group is more, but multiple, two or more, conspire to do something. If Sammy and I decide collectively we want to go see a movie, we have conspired to go see a movie. Like, so yeah, conspiracy being used as a pejorative, I 1000% believe not only is a psyop, but has been one of the most successful psyops that the intelligence agencies have ever pulled on the populace.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times have they openly gaslit the public just from the use of that phrase when it's true? It's absolutely true. Even what's his nuts, the Clapper, a guy who I would just love to fucking play poker with at any given time because he was just.
I would say, yeah, he had no poker face.
Really,
I love that Cindy clocked that out the gate because I didn't know how much you were going to be able to. I'm not saying this in a rude way, Cindy, but like going to be able to contribute to this one just simply because there's a lot of mind melting things. But when you were all like, yo, that bitch lying. It's like even Cindy fucking sees it. Let's just play it again for those of y'all that may have missed it.
The NSA director was at a conference, and he was asked a question about the NSA surveillance of Americans. He replied, and I quote here, "The story that we have millions or hundreds of millions of dossiers on people is completely false." The reason I'm asking the question is having served on the committee now for a dozen years, I don't really know what a dossier is in this context. So what I wanted to see is if you could give me a yes or no answer to the question, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Wait, his head immediately gets shinier from sweating too.
Yes.
I noticed that
But
as well. It's like, look at it here. There we go. Yeah. So you got sweaty.
It does not.
And it looks
Not
even worse
wittingly.
within seconds.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
even
yeah.
worse. Like,
And
Right.
the way he's sitting, he's kind of folding in on himself. He's trying to
Mhm.
make himself smaller. Like I said, the qualifier statement of not wittingly, like he's doing everything he can to try and show he's not lying, and everything is broadcasting that he's lying.
Yeah, I have never seen Cinny and Jim Can't Swim in the same room. So I'm
but with that being said, guys, that's pretty much our episode. Just Project Titan Point. Like, again, is it real? Yes. What's the extent of it? We don't know, but boy, that building sure be fucking weird, is it not?
yeah.
Oh man.
So
All it
Cindy,
just needs
final
is like the Eye of Sauron on the fucking top of it, and it'd be
I
perfect.
know, right?
All right, Cindy, tell people who you are, what you do, what you got coming up, the whole nine.
Hey guys, I'm Sidavir. I will be attempting to play Stellar Blade tonight. It's been a long time, so I'll just be doing a lot of boss rushes and just chatting with y'all. Other than that, that is about it for my day. It's a short week for me, guys. I will be missing on Friday, and I will be back Monday.
That is true. You will be missing on Friday, but that is a-okay. Enjoy the vacation. Obviously, time off is incredibly important. I did the same thing last week. Blue Octopus asked when the next ghost story day is. Whenever we find, so we usually cover videos from Bizarre Bub because he just has the best videos when it comes to that stuff, and he hasn't uploaded one in about a month or so. So whenever the next Bizarre Bub video drop is, that is when we will do another ghost story day. So there's other content creators that do it, like Slap Ham and whatnot, but those ones oftentimes kind of fucking suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I prefer using the Bizarre Bub video. If we're gonna steal content, I want to steal from good content creators. So whenever that next video drops, that's when our next ghost story one will be.
I'm checking.
Although I'll have to send you guys one. I was looking for lights, camera, citation the other day, and I've never seen one that was so clearly poorly edited to where you're getting.
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh no, I saw a really good one." It's like, "Oh no, you mean you saw one that's so fucking fake?"
Yeah, and I was waiting for it to be like, "Wow, even Slapped Hams would not even put this on his channel. This is really bad."
Sammy, tell the people who you are, what you do, what you got coming up, the whole nine.
My name is Sammy 3Pete. I'm a Detroit-based musician, but also I do things on the interweb. Cavecast is back. We just talked about Batman Mask of the Phantasm last Saturday, and not sure what the topic will be on this Saturday. And then next Saturday, we're not having it because we are having Cavecast on Wednesday. It'll be a Cavecast special, and I will be talking with Chuck Dixon about Bane. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got him on the show. I'll have him and maybe a small panel of buddies, but one of comic books great writers and definitely a pillar stone in the lore of Batman. So I'm very excited about that.
Chuck Dixon is a hell of a guest to get on the show, homie.
I'm very excited about that, and just talk about one of my favorite comic book characters, Bane, which he created. So I'm looking forward to. I'm sure he's gonna have some wonderful insight, and other than that, the news.
You also have another guest coming up. Have you announced that one, or are you keeping that one under wraps for the time being?
Oh, Kelly Jones.
Yes.
Kelly Jones, we're still figuring out a date, but now that he knows that I'm willing to have a cave cast special, he's just kind of like, oh, you want to do it before the Nightfall video or Nightfall movie? I was like, yeah, that would be great. Like all of your covers on Shadow of the Bat, it was like some of my favorite artwork. And I was like, how's the Saturday morning? He goes, oh, what were you saying to Dixon about being able to do? Yeah, dude, we can do a Wednesday night too. So yeah, no, we're definitely.
That's funny. You didn't tell me that part of the Kelly Jones story. That's funny.
So that's in the books. Like I said, the news is on a bit of a hiatus because the band's in the studio. But that'll be returning, and then later this year when the new Harry Potter series drops, I'll be replacing the news with Expecto Recaptrum, and it's for better or for worse. We will see how this Harry Potter series plays out. So
for worse or for worser.
Yes,
guys. As for me, videos and streams nearly every day. I'm going to be tonight releasing. Well, it'll release tomorrow, but tonight be recording a full edited one of those sorts of videos. The one not going to be a stream clip. It'll actually be one of the fully highly edited video breakdowns I've been trying to do more of lately. I have a few things that could possibly cover. Not entirely sure which it is, so you guys will have to see the video tomorrow when it comes out. Me and Hypno will also be doing, of course, our Tuesday night gaming streams that we always do. Game is also undecided. We may be just putting the hammer down and quitting on Lords of the Fallen. Every time we've tried to stream that game, there's been some, like the last 3 times, there's been some sort of colossal fuck up, and I think he and I are just getting exasperated with it. So we're probably switching the game tonight, but we'll see what it'll be. So join me over on the gaming channel tonight. It'll be awesome. I appreciate it. Video streams every day. We are going to be raiding into my girl Sevi. Make sure she's playing Devil May Cry 3 right now, the best Devil May Cry. So I want y'all to give her a vital idol raid. And guys, thank you so much. Truly appreciated. This is one of my favorite shows to do throughout the week. The research on this one was super fucking fun. And we will be back next week with more Tinfoil Haters chicanery. So until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise. Deuces.
Peace.